Hey everyone, today we'll see how the story goes on from the chapter 9 of the Southern Family. The chapter 9 is titled as Hospitality. Here we can see that Neville Richardson, he talks to his daughter, talks to his daughter Julia about her old friend Lily, who has helped them in the library conference, and he talks about Lily and her strength and the way she spoke at the conference, and he explains what all she spoke to Julia. Here there's a description that Richardson has bandaged his foot because he has fell down somewhere, and she is taking care of her father, and they sit together to have their dinner, and she makes the dinner, and all these are described in the beginning of the text. Here it's also mentioned that Julia lives alone and she visits her father only during the weekends, and those 2 days are the days where they have the bond of daughter and father, and that's the day where they talk about their lives and they spend time together. And she feels bad that she has to leave her father in this situation, and she has to go to her apartment on Monday. She should reach her apartments on Monday. She's rushing back to her workplace, but she feels that bad that she is leaving her father here alone. Here, Julia describes that her father has a great respect on the doctor's wife, that doctor who has the regular checkup of her father. His name is Evans, and tells that Mrs. Evans is really very good cook and has great recipes. And here it is described as um, Richardson and even Mrs. Ewan share recipes, and even Mrs. Ewan sends food for Richardson, and they have a very good bond between them. He has a great respect over Mrs. Evans. Then the incident is that the daughter and the father discuss about an event which happened a few months before. That's the last November of a person named as Robert Jonas. He's a black man, and he's been caught staking at women's leg in a library, and he is suspended from the library, and he's not allowed to enter the library for a time span. But he doesn't listen to it, and he comes back within few days as a normal person. And the women over there, the elite women, didn't like this, and they complained it to the board member of the library. So these women complained this to the new member of the board. Her name is Karen Breester. She was a very hardworking woman, and she took it a bit serious. And she goes to Robert and tells him that he is suspended and he is not allowed to enter into the library. Next, there's a whole description of library and how different people come to library and for what purpose do they come. Do they really come for reading, or do they just come for waste the time? All these descriptions are given, and what then happens is four men come to um, complain to the board member about the incident which took about Robert, but she was confused what to do. And then there arrives Lily Quick, who solves all the problems, and Karen is awestruck by the way Lily spoke to them, and she starts to admire her. What happens next is that Julia meets Lily in a market, and she talks to her, and she sees that Lily has become more beautiful than before, and Julia starts to admire Lily, and they talk to each other. And here Julia describes that Lily was the most sensual woman she has ever seen throughout all these days. And she also tells that here she tells that her parents never approved her crush on Lily. So here we come to know that Julia had a crush on Lily. Here, Julia describes Lily as most daring woman of the times, and she was writing novel and which she couldn't complete. But Julia would like to read that novel if she would have completed it.